This is a fascinating movie.
Cry until you faint love movie.
99% of people are afraid to watch it a second time.
He has helped countless people find the true meaning of
The
love.
woman is about to reach for the Coke in the harvester. Suddenly a big hand reached out from behind. He got up in a panic and tried to run away, but was stopped by a man. Press on the vending machine and can't move. I didn't wait for the woman to react. The man just opens the Coke and drinks it. Don't forget to burp after drinking. He put the empty can into the woman's hand. There is a bit of joy in the eyes. In the face of this barbaric behavior, others are already angry. But instead of being angry, women secretly rejoice in their hearts.
This ridiculous scene.
Just like that convenience store night a few days ago. Broken-hearted Soo-jin bought a bottle of Coke at the convenience store. But after leaving, I found that I forgot to take it.
When you turn around,
bumped into a sloppy guy with a Coke at the door. Looking at the empty counter, Soo-jin concluded that it was him without thinking. Walked away his things. So he grabbed the Coke and raised his head to the crown. After drinking it, it also coincided with 11, as if to show off this victory in retrieving items. He gave the empty bottle to the other party. He turned away in disgust. Watching the back of Soo-jin leaving, the men couldn't help laughing. Little do they know that their fate will depend on this bottle. Soo-jin wants to take the bus home. But when I swiped my card, I found that my wallet was missing. Back again. Didn't wait for him to speak. The clerk took his wallet from under the counter and Coke. It was just a misunderstanding. He wanted to give the Coke back to Sloppy, but no sign of the other party. And the fate between them has just begun. A game starts anew. The love against oblivion begins. Something went wrong with the project my colleague was in charge of today. The original decoration company suddenly quit. If the boss knows this, colleagues are definitely going to be fired. At this time, Soo-jin remembered her father who was in real estate. Maybe it can solve the trouble of decoration. Soon Dad helped him find workers. The elevator door opened for a moment. Soo-jin was stunned. The other party was actually the sloppy man who was misunderstood by him and turned away in embarrassment. The earphones are still hot. I just want to escape this embarrassment quickly. He came downstairs and bought a Coke. Just when I'm glad I wasn't recognized, a big, powerful hand came up from behind. Preemptively took the Coke from the vending machine. Soo-jin got up and wanted to leave, but was stopped. Pleated beads learned from the way Soo-jin first met him. Lift your head and pour the Coke into your mouth. The movement is as neat as echoing the original scene. Finally, he deliberately typed a treasure. So with a bit of mischievous retaliation, let Soo-jin feel novel. He couldn't help but giggle on the way back. A muffled voice sounded from behind. Hey! Are you Hategeta? Boss, I need to text. Text shit. Just as he reached for a taxi, suddenly a biker rides off with his bag, and it's all hidden in the eyes. I saw him push open the car door. The bikers were directly knocked out. Cover and pick up drop bags. Carefully pad off the dust, and I fixed his torn strap. This move instantly captured the heart of the pocket. It's getting late. The bead offered to send the pocket back. He took out the damaged windshield. Put your pocket in the passenger seat full of tools. The night wind is getting stronger. The Whistler can't open his eyes. Wear studio goggles if you cover it up. And handed the welding cap to the pocket. The funny look makes the pocket laugh. In the air in the evening breeze. It's all heartbeat that can't be hidden. And the next day,
Zhuzhen dressed up carefully in the mirror for a long time.
I just mustered up the courage to come to the construction site
But
where
when
the
he
beads
saw
go
the
to
folded
work,
beads,
suddenly embarrassed again, hastily turned and fled. In the evening, Zhuzhen asked a few sisters to pretend to meet by chance.
I have you more than anything else.
Just compare. Of course this pig is not
You can
stupid.
see his little thoughts at a glance.
They held hands together under the table. Feel the warmth from each other's fingertips. Not a word. The two established a relationship tacitly. Cover up the unruly appearance of the past. Shave off the stubble. Expose a clean jaw. Also sprayed perfume. He didn't even notice it. The spiritual man in the mirror, eyes full of expectations for the future. They're like all lovers in love. Make life sweet. When shopping together, Kilju will hold Soo-jin in his arms.
When we play baseball together,
the two are even more intimate. Zhuzhen's face is also filled with a long-lost happy
and
smile.
they especially
like to play a dress rehearsal game. If you lose, Zhuzhen will sting you with a kiss.
Jiju
thinks the good luck of the whole world has befallen him. In order to give Zhuzhen a better life, Jiju decided to apply for the architect exam. He began to study hard for the exams. Soo-jin custom made a suit for him.
Pleated
and
beads.
He passed the exam. The two are walking in the afterglow of the setting
The golden
sun.
light pulls their shadows.
Even the air is full of the sweetness of love. Pretty soon, Zhuzhen's father noticed a change in his daughter. He offered to meet his future son-in-law. But when they met at the restaurant, both sides were stunned. It turns out that my father is actually the boss
Dad
of
has
Jeju
long
Company.
known
about Jiju's family background. Disapproval in my heart is like a heavy stone. He didn't want his daughter to marry a poor boy. Take advantage of Zhuzhen to get up and
Dad
go to
directly
the toilet.
informs
Jeju. Touch you. Just when Jeju wanted to leave, a scream came from outside the restaurant door. It was Soo-jin who fainted. Jeju rushed into the crowd. Pick him up and run to the hospital. The person in my arms is very light. But he felt like he was carrying the weight of the world. Seeing the beads, he was even more nervous.
His father
has
himself.
changed his opinion of
Perhaps
him. His daughter will marry him.
It can also be treated like a baby.
Soo-jin woke up from the hospital, holding the folded beads and unwilling to see them so in love. Dad relented. Better than family. Daughter can laugh happily. The most precious thing is to have solid happiness. Soon the two entered the marriage hall. The pocket is dressed in white yarn like a fairy. Beauty makes Jiju unable to look away. The life of the two after marriage is even more happy. On the recommendation of his father-in-law, the spider has received a major project. Help a rich man design and build a hilltop villa. Just when everything was going in the right direction, a sudden accident. Cover this happiness like a dark cloud. Soo-jin found herself getting confused recently. Obviously walk home every day, but suddenly become unfamiliar. Standing at the intersection for a long time, can't remember where to go. The girlfriend smiled. He was obsessed with happiness. But at night when he walked to the door, but I still suspect that I went the wrong way. Until the key opens the door. He just confirmed that this is his home. Soo-jin decides to see a doctor. After a series of inspections, doctor tell him an unacceptable truth. The meaning of love. It's what we call Alzheimer's disease. The disease mostly affects people over the age of 60. It's pitifully rare for young people to get sick. And he just happens to be one of the unfortunate few. The doctor told him to mentally prepare in advance. The disease progresses rapidly. He will forget his family and friends, including himself. All memories will be lost. Until a nervous breakdown. The body completely collapsed. And there's no cure. You can only rely on drugs to slow down the attack. On the way back, Zhuzhen couldn't help crying. He finally met Jiju. I met someone who was willing to spoil him into a treasure. The man who loves him deeply. But now even the memory of him is about to be taken away. There's not even a trace of him left. Think about it. He decided to quit his job. Take good care of Jeju with the remaining time. Give him all the warmth he can give. See the melancholy in Zhu Zhen's eyes that cannot be hidden. And ask him what the doctor said. In order not to worry about covering up, he lied and said it was okay. Zhu Zhen's heart hurts like a needle, but still forced a smile. He hurriedly got up and hid in the bathroom, turned on the faucet, crying through the sound of rushing water. He was too afraid to tell Pearl. You can only choose to hide. He was afraid to see him sad. I'm more afraid of this newly overflowing shattered happiness. Instantly by disease. During the day, he gets up early to prepare meals for the beads. Let him take it to the construction site. Then helped him tie his tie and fix his suit. The two waved goodbye at the door. Zizha couldn't help but look back at him more. This morning is covered in sugar. It's sweet and makes people want to treasure it. Colleagues are envious. I come over every time I eat. But this time when Jeju smiled and opened the lunchbox, I was stunned. 2 lunchboxes full of white rice. Not even a little cabbage heart. His heart sank violently. The details that had been overlooked suddenly surfaced. Recently, I can't find anything at home in my pocket. Ming just washed the dishes. Turn around and put it in the sink again. Rinse and cover. I have an ominous feeling in my heart. So he found the doctor who treated Sujin. Ask your wife what's wrong. After learning that Sujin had Alzheimer's disease, covering is unacceptable. I want to buy that vest. Cooks a lot to die again, not again. Go! I am the question. He grabbed the doctor rudely by the collar, roaring with red eyes. The nurse hurried forward and grabbed him. I'm afraid you have 1 vote for them. I kind of want to die. I still don't believe in love. Full of sunshine and happiness for you. This sentence is like a jellyfish poured into a basin of cold water, completely awake. Despair spreads to the whole body little by little along the tip of the other side. Walking down the street, the pocket suddenly stopped. The streets around me are unfamiliar. He can't remember where he's going. I can't remember where my home is. Good Samaritans came around and asked him what was wrong. The approaching ex-boyfriend jolted his memory. He thought they were still in love, so I took the man's hand naturally. But when the two talk about the past, Zhu Zhen's memory suddenly returned. He remembered his ex-boyfriend's betrayal of him, so he hurriedly got up and left. He ducked into the ballpark to vent his emotions. It didn't take long for the beads to come over. See the red eyes of the beads? I really understand that he already knows. The house that's not true. No, I'm tired of peacocks so that I can move contact. We are full of this. There are so many little problems in the world. I asked my husband, The QQ brother, look at that. Scum. He's still in the nest. That scum is so hard to talk about. Okay. A street. Who the hell has passed? Look at that mushroom match. The spider fought back the tears in its eyes. He said he would always be by Xiujin's side. If one day Sujin forgets him, then find a way to make him fall in love with himself again. I went home and covered up and started busy decorating the room. He took a photo of the two of them, travel tickets, and the notes Sujin wrote before. They plastered the walls of the living room and the bedroom. He also wrote a lot of any lost cards for Sujin. It has the address of your home on it, his phone number. Let Xiujin hang on her chest. Wake up every day and take your medicine. Covering will ask him some simple questions. Difficult. After confirming that Xiujin still remembers herself, Jeju dared to go to work with confidence. But accidents still happen. This Tian Jeju just left on his front feet. The Scumex came to the door. Xiujin's memory returns to the period when the two were madly in love. He welcomed his ex-boyfriend in the door, just when Scum wanted to go further. Don't worry, the folded beads just rushed back. Seeing this scene, his eyes instantly rush up and punch Scum to the ground. But for the current Xiujin, your ex-boyfriend is your lover. He hurried forward to stop, but accidentally scratched a folding bead with a knife. The confused memory gave Sujin a splitting headache. This is the scene. Caught by the family of the father-in-law who came to visit their daughter. I learned that my daughter was sick. The pregnant woman offered to divorce Jeju and her daughter. Take Sujin home and let them take care of her. Hungry, your mother cries. No one understands me. He didn't want to delay Jeju. Kiji Pig shook his head without thinking. The tone is firm. This is so-called a broken fart or something. If you're not a god, you have to let go. There's my 2-1 thing down here. He knew his father-in-law meant well. This is good for this product. This is not going to the Oktoberfest to buy meat at all. But marriage is never just a sweet contract. But when the other party is most vulnerable, can be his support. He didn't want the pocket to be out of the pain. You have to bear being loved. The pain of abandonment. I'm tired of it. Then Sujin woke up. See Sujin incontinence. Cover and rush up to push him into the room. He tore off his clothes and wiped them carefully for him. Sujin asked him why his arm was injured. Cover up and dare not answer. He gritted his teeth and tried not to let his voice tremble. He's afraid that Xiujin will know the truth and live in guilt. I'm more afraid that he will push himself away. The next day, the beads are packed and ready to go to work. Sujin stopped him, but the name of the ex-boyfriend was called out. Fold beads' body froze. In order not to make the pocket sad, he turned around and forced a smile. Pocket, look at him there, with a tender memory in his eyes. Wait for him to walk out the door. The tears couldn't stop flowing. He's obviously by Xiujin's side, but it seems to have been completely pushed away by his memory. Cover and find the doctor. Yurinan says I'm proud of. His eyes were full of confusion and anxiety, desperate to know the answer. But it was hard on the matter of death. Doctors say memories disappear backwards. And what about Chaka? What about this? I don't know. This pig doesn't know the love hidden in his heart. How long can it last? Pocket looking at the house full of sticky notes. The daily chores of the two are remembered on it. Memories are like beads with a broken thread slowly returning to the cage. When he touches the covered kit, all their memories were reawakened. Scenes of the past quickly flashed in my mind. The first oolong, the sweetness of love, wedding house. and the guardian who covers himself when he is sick. He could no longer contain his emotions and burst into tears. In order not to hurt the beads and drag him down, Pocket, while the memory is still clear, wrote a farewell letter. That dry. I'm worried that my mother won't dare to do that. It's a play. Love is a play. And it's not easy to love. After the horse race. Elastic version of salad Q. Elastic version of sun-dried Q. Flexible version of QQ. It's so troublesome. Then his friend went out to pee. QQ bought it for him. You are a Twitter. Made 40 for your mom. That must be only greedy. This is Amita on the road. The writing on the stationery is stained with tears. Word line all the time is his guilt and reluctance to fold the beads. When the bead sees the letter, even breathing has a sharp pain. Every word I read feels like I'm stuck with a fine needle in my chest. He was clutching the stationery. Swear to get the sleeves back. The cue from Sugarheart is simple. I searched all over the convenience store, everywhere I went with them. I have never been able to find Zyujen's figure, until one day, Jeju received a letter from the nursing home. This is Sujin in the nursing home. I wrote it when I remembered him. In the letter, he made Jishu forget himself. Find someone you love and live a happy life. Jishu immediately drove over. He wore the most familiar perfume in his pocket. Hoped to jog his memory. But when Pocket saw him, he looked unfamiliar. He picked up the pocket book that had fallen. Each of the above paintings is of itself. Cover up and think the pocket still remembers him. No, she gets filled. The spider froze. Then he revealed a gentle smile, like when we first met. He remembered what he had said. The firmness in my heart is ignited again. This is ours. Even if Sujin forgets him, he will also try his best. Let Zyujen fall in love with herself again. They came to the restaurant to eat. Zyujen suddenly smelled the perfume on Jeju. Eyes fell on Jeju. All this trip and the boss sees the pocket trying to scrape through memories. The heart that is covered is like being tears welled up in my eyes. Pocket saw him hurriedly put on his sunglasses. Forcibly held back the tears. He asked the nurse if he could take the pocket out. They went to the convenience store where they first met. When the two meet again at the door, cover the Coke in your hand. Looking at a familiar scene and relatives in the store. Sujin briefly regained her memory. Although I don't know how long this memory can last, but the spider still takes his pocket hand without hesitation. If they hadn't met that day, then you won't have that pain, that sadness and that tearful memory. However, if it were not for the pleasure either, this heart, this warm and full of happiness. The eraser can erase the memory, but they can never erase the traces of their love for each other. Wish all the beauty in the world can meet you unexpectedly.